Civilization 6 is coming, and it's going to be on the same day that Battlefield was actually released. Good one! However, unlike Battlefield, guys, this is only going to be on the PC. Now, for anybody that has played Civilization before, this is not like anything you've played. So I'll go through and explain why. In Civilization 6, you're actually going to be able to unstack cities. So instead of putting all your buildings, your places and everything under one hexagon tile, Civilization 6 will allow you to spread out your settlements into several different districts on multiple tiles. So what does that mean? Basically, it sounds like you're going to have districts where you can actually go through and have, for example, research and technology, garrisons like buildings and stuff like that. You can have your wonders and all that in different sections. It also means that instead of going in and just absolutely obliterating an enemy or taking out the whole enemy and the whole enemy stronghold, you might be able to go in and take out their research facility or take out their trip manufacturing facility for a future attack. So there seems like there could be a little bit more strategy involved than just going in and just smash and grab. And of course, that said, obviously different areas are going to be producing different things. So your attack can change depending on who you're fighting and what they're manufacturing. Now, while this is probably the biggest change that's coming in Civilization 6, there's also been an update to how you do your research. So the old style was always just going through the tech tree. The problem arose from this was that you could actually go through and, as they said, discover things and research things like naval warfare, for example, without even discovering the ocean. So what they've done in Civilization 6 is they allowed you to go through and you actually have to get pre-requirements to do some research. So for example, say you want to build the pyramids or you want to build stone walls. Obviously, then they've thought about what you need to obviously do that. So the first thing you'll need to find is obviously some stone. So that's the first pre-requirement for your stonemasonry. Then you're going to have to do things like building a quarry. And then after that, I presume things like learn to forge tools and stuff like that. So it's a lot more progressive and a lot more sort of choosing which area, and it's not just so much an autopilot of upgrade, where you actually have to go through and hit pre-requirements. This I actually welcome because obviously it makes the game a lot more interactive, and it stops people from just walking away and letting it upgrade everything and then coming back and then declaring war on everybody when you're so overpowered. That is also something that's new as well. Whether or not the fans will like that, obviously it's something we'll have to. The second last major improvement that they've gone through and done is diplomatic. So in the past they always had these historical leaders that were very arbitrary in how they carried on. They were very stock standard. There was no real sort of major difference between them. What they've done in Civilization 6 is they've actually made it so that all your diplomatic historical figures have actually got an agenda. So, for example, different personalities in different terms of diplomatics. Every single leader in the game has a historical agenda. We're looking at something that they did very well in history, and we dialed that up in the game world to make it a bit more fanatic about it in Civilization 6. So, for example, if you had someone like Genghis Khan or someone like that, then they're going to be theoretically a lot more sort of gung-ho, a lot more charge, attack, and a lot more full-on. Where if you have someone like, for example, Abraham Lincoln or someone along those lines, they're a lot more passive, not so gung-ho as, for example, Genghis Khan. So, obviously depending on what era that you're playing or who you're playing against or with, depending on how you're going to react. So there's also that as well. The last thing that's changed is unit stacking. It is back, but in a different way. So the best way to explain this is just basically read what they've said to Polygon. The first thing is that there will be a lot of units that were additional equipment for your units. Might be battering rams, siege towers, or anti-aircraft guns, or anti-attack guns. These in Civilization were special units that took up a whole dedicated tile. In Civilization 6, we call them support units. They can stack with other military units without you having to worry about managing them on a tile by themselves. Okay. Now, in other parts, we found that once you got your protection going in the middle or the late part of the game, sometimes you have lots of units of a certain type. We felt like this is a more realistic part of the military history at the point in time. You could have concentrated your forces better and achieve what we call corps or armies, where you take 2 or 3 units and stack them together. Now this unit's going to have a lot more punch, probably have the ability to drive a hole through the enemy battering line, and that's how that system works. Now once you've linked the 2 units into a corps, their individual units at the point they've been upgraded, you'll want to keep them in that fashion if possible. Okay, so it sounds like, for example, you get 5 or 6 groups together, highlight them, select them, put them all into a group, and instead of taking up 5 or 6 tiles, it only takes up 1, but you might see, for example, like Archer with a little 6 or something under it to let you know there's 6 guys in that group. Now obviously that group will have a lot more damage than one on their own, and allow you to go through and actually use that to sort of punch your way through the enemy strongholds and stuff like that. So that also sounds pretty cool as well. Now guys, obviously we have put some screenshots that have been leaked or released on this video as well as we also got the trailer there as well. Hopefully I don't get a copyright strike. Let us know in the comment section below, what are your thoughts on Civilization 6? Do you like the changes that are coming out? I'll also put a link in the description for the source, which is Polygon's article. So I'll put a link to that as well. But guys, let us know in the comment section, what are your thoughts? Apart from that guys, enjoy yourself and I will see you playing games. Have a great night. Enjoy.